Denise. Denise. It's Denise. It's Denise. It's Denise. It's Denise. It's a podcast party. It's a podcast party. It's a podcast party.
I gotta say, I feel like we're besties now after this. What's up, guys? It's Denise Salcedo. Jeff Hardy officially debuts in AEW. We have a brand new TNT champion. It is the March 5th edition of AEW Dynamite, the fallout from AEW Revolution. We have so much to get into here today. Hey, everyone, I'm Denise Salcedo. Welcome to the show. Tonight's episode of Dynamite was severely loaded. A lot happened. I have a lot of opinions about what went down here today. I cannot wait to talk about it because it's not that I wasn't expecting tonight's show to be good. I was expecting it to be good, but I think we got a lot more than a lot of us maybe expected. So it was a good show, a very fast-paced show. I mean, it flew by today. It flew by, which I'm glad because they're following up a major pay-per-view. So I'm really happy that, they kept the momentum going with tonight's show. Before we get started, for those of you who are new to the show, I just want to remind you all that this is a very interactive stream. Send in your thoughts. I will be pulling them out, especially because there's going to be a lot of opinion-heavy type of stuff. So I'm going to be very curious to see what you guys all have to say. On top of that, if you want to make sure that your question, your comment, or your statement gets read on this show, you can go ahead and send in a super chat. If you send in a super chat, your comment gets read on this podcast. On top of that, F4W Online does allow me to keep 100% of all the proceeds after YouTube takes their cuts. So it helps me out and it gets you here on this stream while your thoughts read, rather, not you yourself. But let's go ahead and let's get into this all, everybody. I'm going to kick things off with our first super chat of the night. This is from Taylor Cannon, who says, "Hey, Denise, hope you are well. Hope you've had a great week thus far. Another great episode of Dynamite. Jericho, Lane, Santana, and Ortiz out. Shocked me." Oh, we're going to get into that in just a hot minute, but thank you so much to Taylor Cannon for kicking us off with our first super chat of the night, followed by another super chat from William Santoro Jr., who says, "Rosa versus Baker in a cage. Tony Khan loves wrestling." Tony Khan certainly loves wrestling from everything that we've learned about him since, he began to own AEW. So thank you so much to William for sending in that super chat. And let's go ahead and get right into all of the action. Once again, if you do want to get your questions, comments, or statements read here, send in a super chat and I will pull those up. But let's kick things off with something that I'm not necessarily too crazy about, but let's get right into it. So we kick things off with Chris Jericho addressing Eddie Kingston after his loss to Eddie Kingston at AEW Revolution. An awesome opening match that a lot of people really enjoyed and was match of the night for a lot of people. So basically, he comes out and Jericho is kind of playing the good guy. And he's saying, you know what? Eddie Kingston brought something out in me that I didn't know I had. I didn't shake his hand at AEW Revolution, and I feel like I owe that to Eddie Kingston. I was frustrated after that loss, so I want to go ahead and shake his hand now because he has earned my respect after defeating me at AEW Revolution. So Jericho's kind of, playing the good guy, and to be honest, I fell for it. I don't know how many other people here fell for it, but I did. Guilty. I fell for this. And then Eddie Kingston comes out and he basically tells him, like, dude, you didn't need to shake my hand. I didn't need to do that for me. I didn't need your handshake. I needed the win, not necessarily the handshake. I think you needed that handshake. And the fact that you didn't shake my hand, says that you have some issues that are unresolved within you, Jericho. So why didn't you shake my hand? And so they kind of go a little bit back and forth more on this until we finally get Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho shaking hands. And it's this very beautiful moment that goes away just like that. So they shake hands, and immediately after, they are attacked by 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. Now, we've seen them. This is kind of how things got started, a couple weeks back, a couple months now back, with the 2.0 attacks on both Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho. So now I'm thinking, oh man, like we're reverting back to this. So at this point, I'm thinking well, first of all, right away, I noticed that when Jericho was attacked, when he was thrown, they threw him really lightly. So I'm like, why would they not throw him as hard as Eddie Kingston? Like, you noticed immediately that the attack on Chris Jericho wasn't as strong as the one on Eddie Kingston. But regardless, I'm like, okay, so are we going to do Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho going up against 2.0 and Daniel Garcia? Is this the direction that we're going in? But then afterwards, so we see 2.0 and Daniel Garcia take down Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho. So then we see Santana and Ortiz running out to help out Jericho and Kingston. And the first thing that I was thinking during this moment was that I was pissed off. I was pissed off because when Santana and Ortiz came out to help out Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho, I was like, why? This whole time, they had already basically said that they were not happy with Jericho. They weren't on good terms. They were pretty much broken up. Like Santana and Ortiz were pretty much broken up from Chris Jericho. And then all of a sudden they have this moment backstage where they're like fist bumping each other. And I'm like, what the hell? Like all of a sudden they're going to come out and help Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston. So whatever. So that's what I was first thinking. So they come out, they help out Kingston and Jericho, but they are still outnumbered. So they start getting beat up by 2.0 and Garcia. And then it's Chris Jericho ends up turning on Santana and Ortiz and attacking them. And so now we officially have the official breakup of the inner circle. Even though I thought that it was really dumb, they made Santana and Ortiz look really, really dumb by having them trust Jericho, even though they had already said that they didn't trust Chris Jericho. They were already feuding, they broke up, and then all of a sudden they were on good terms out of the blue, and then once again they got fooled by Chris Jericho. So it really made them look very, very dumb here. I was not a fan of that. I was not a fan of that whatsoever. But anyways, continuing on. So we see that Jericho has now aligned himself with the 2.0 guys and Daniel Garcia and Jake Hager too, by the way, because Jake Hager came out and for a second, he looked like he was torn, like he was trying to make a decision of who to go with, Santana and Ortiz or Chris Jericho, but he ends up going with Chris Jericho. And then he hits a very, very bad power bomb onto Eddie Kingston onto a table. Did not look good at all, but whatever. So now we have this new stable with Jericho, the 2.0 guys, Daniel Garcia, and Jake Hager. And I don't know if this is like the official name for their group, but Jericho did call them the God, what did he call them? Oh yeah, the Jericho Appreciation Society. Now I don't know if that's going to be like the official name. I'm guessing it's going to be the official name. Oh God, I'm not really digging it, guys. I'll be honest, I'm not really digging this. Now, I'm assuming that this is going to lead to blood and guts, and it's probably going to be the Jericho Appreciation Society against Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. And I'm going to assume Sammy Guevara. So I'm thinking Sammy Guevara, his storyline now since losing the TNT championship, we'll get to that later. I am not crazy about the fact that he lost the TNT championship because I think now that's just going to throw him back into this inner circle storyline where he's going to spend like probably weeks trying to decide like, who should I go with? Should I go with Santana and Ortiz or should I go with Chris Jericho? And so this whole entire time, he's probably going to be deciding who to go with. He's going to trust Chris Jericho. Jericho is going to turn on him and then eventually probably aligning himself with Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. So for me, I'm just a little bit like, all right, I see where this is going. I'm not the craziest person over it, but what did you guys think? Sorry. Oh, there's so much to talk about here today, guys. All right, let's see what people are saying here because I'm getting quite a bit of comments and I want to make sure that I got all of these here. But let's see. I mean, at least, okay, I saw a super chat. Where did it go? All right, here we go. This one is from Sandpie Boone who says, will you try to get an interview with Jeff Hardy before Sean Ross Sapp interviews Jeff Hardy? Because you can always ask smart questions to everybody. Okay, first of all, guys, I'm not in competition with Sean to get interviews. We work for the same company, so I'm not in competition with Sean to get certain interviews. But I appreciate you sending in the super chat, Sam. We got another super chat from Joe Pepe who says, at the show, what a night waiting for Rampage. Well, the matches that were announced for Rampage sounded really good. So I'm sure you're going to enjoy yourself at Rampage. So enjoy it, man. And let's get to, there's so many comments here. I'm trying to make sure I get everybody. All right, everybody. Send your comments in, even if I didn't see it. Resend them in because I'm going to be pulling some right now and seeing what people are going to say. This one is from Michael Manfredi who says, my girlfriend popped when she heard Jericho's stable name. She said it was so stupid, it was hilarious. Is that really going to be the name, Jericho's Appreciation Society? I mean, he wouldn't have said it if it's not going to be the name, right? But like, damn. Sean Williams says, at least, Denise, it gives P&P some TV time. Doing the exact same thing pretty much, though. They're just going to be in the shadows here. I honestly, yeah. Board Guy says Jericho's heel turn was way too obvious, made the baby faces look dumb. I agree with this. And I agree with this, but mainly with the baby faces looking dumb in the sense that it didn't make sense story-wise that Santana and Ortiz had already basically decided that they weren't going to let Chris Jericho keep doing what he was doing to them by keeping them off of the tag team title picture, because that was what they said when they cut their promo. They basically said, they told Chris Jericho on Dynamite, like, you're the reason why, we haven't been in the title scene, why we haven't been tag team champions, because we've just been, everything's just been about you. Everything has been about Chris Jericho. And so it's like, okay, cool. Like, they finally smartened up and then for no reason just took it all back. And then they ended up getting tricked. Like, it makes them look really dumb, which really sucks, in my opinion, because I freaking love Santana and Ortiz. But let's see what else we got here. K-Town Shutdown says, I think this is finally where Sammy versus Jericho happens, and it'll happen pretty quickly. He won't take too much time to decide. Yeah, I'm expecting for, like I said, for Sammy to have this moment where he's like debating what to do, and then he's going to end up trusting Chris Jericho, and then Jericho's going to be like, not trustworthy. Matt Hensley says, I want to know why this opened up the show. What would have been a much better open to the show? The title match that happened next. Jericho's ego is probably why I'm not a fan of this. And I'm a Chris Jericho fan, guys. Like, let me put that out there. Like, I am a Chris Jericho fan. I just don't love this. I'm not crazy about this whole Jericho's Appreciation Society, especially I think for me, like, I'm a fan of Daniel Garcia. I'm not necessarily too crazy about 2.0. I'm not too crazy about 2.0. I'm not too crazy about Jake Hager. So really, like, the only person that I like besides Jericho is really Daniel Garcia. So I'm kind of like, there's not much for me to necessarily get too excited about. We got Cassie420 who says, I loved it. Jericho played it perfectly. Heel Jericho's the best Jericho. The name was the only letdown. Jericho's Appreciation Society. Church of Platinum says, Denise is right, though. Booking was nonsense. It certainly was. Let's see what else we got here. Let's get some more comments. This one is from Tom, who says, I think the stable name was meant to be cringe as he's doing a parody of the sports entertainer thing. Well, I mean, it's either that or like, well, he's also doing like the influencer stuff. Pro Wrestling Fan says it's crazy about the name, but this stable looks good to me, and Garcia and 2.0 are going to get more opportunities in this faction. Yeah, the same opportunities that had Santana and Ortiz. Guys, I'm not feeling it, man. Diog Tot says Inner Circle 2.0 is simple and good for a name. That would have been funny because it could have been like, obviously a rib off of the NXT 2.0. Comic Book Bob says the show had some good moments, Rigo in particular, but overall a really sloppy show. I didn't think this was a sloppy show. It was a fun show. Like, a lot of stuff happened that I very much enjoyed. But we got a super chat here. This one is from Keel Robinson TV, who says, they said they had Jericho's back last week. Yes, but why? Why? Why out of nowhere? That's my question. Why? Somebody, please answer this question. Why? They literally had just this backstage moment where Jericho was like, we good? And they're like, yeah, fist bump. Why? I sound like a freaking 3-year-old toddler asking why. But it's true, though. It doesn't make sense. Unless I'm missing something. Did I not see something? Did something happen that I totally slept on? I don't think so. Keel Robinson TV, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Let's get some more comments in here and see what people are saying here. All right, I think I got a lot of what you guys said about this, but all right, this one is from Bruce LB, who says, it wasn't out of nowhere. They just lost 2 battle royals and learned it wasn't Jericho holding them back. I don't think that was the story that was explained. No, there's no way. No way. I don't believe this. No, that doesn't make sense. No, that does not make sense. All right, let's get some more here. And let's see. This one is from Pro Wrestling Fan, who says, I'm guessing because they got eliminated in both battle royals and they thought they were better with Jericho, so they joined him again. So then explain that. Explain that then. That's something that you would do, is explain it, right? If that's the story they were trying to go with, then you take a moment to explain that. We got a super chat from Pacer Don, who says, I thought Sammy would win despite the injury and make Scorpio look like a geek, but then I remembered that this isn't WWE and enjoyed the finish. I can't wait to talk about that because I have my predictions down for what I think is going to happen in regards to the TNT Championship, but we'll talk about that in just a second. We got a super chat from Devin Schultz, who says, the show had a lot of questions, like the Jericho ordeal, for example. For example, didn't PVZ had to sign before Sky got his match? Some things didn't add up. So the Paige VanZant thing, they had promoted that she was going to be signing with AEW, but there wasn't an actual segment where she actually put pen to paper and actually signed. So that was a little bit weird. Yeah, that was a little bit weird. I will say that, because that was one of the things that I was waiting for when I realized, there's 20 minutes left in the show. We still got this big matchup. When exactly are they going to do this Paige VanZant thing? But so we didn't actually get what was promoted, but we will talk about Paige VanZant in just a second, because I am liking the direction in which they're going with Paige VanZant. So thank you so much to Devin Schultz for sending this in here. And Scott, your boy says, back in the day, Denise's diary would have been full of the Jericho Appreciation Society. This is true. This is definitely true, because for those of you guys who know this about me, Chris Jericho was my first favorite wrestler, and I was obsessed with Chris Jericho, and he was all over my notebook. So although back in the day, the Jericho Appreciation Society would have been the cover of my notebook. Thank you so much to Scout Your Boy for making me laugh there. Let's see what else we got here. This is a super chat from Raven Warren, who says, is this the first women's cage match in AEW? I believe so, but someone who is smarter than me and has a better memory than me, please correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe so. But please, somebody correct me or someone fact check that. Keel Robinson TV says, we all have that bad friend that we forgive. No. Thank you so much to Keel Robinson for trying to make sense of this. I get what you're doing. You're trying to make sense of it. I get it, man, but I don't think so. Thank you so much to Keel Robinson for sending in this super chat. All right. So that's where we're at with the opening segment. If you watch this show on replay, let me know what you guys thought. If you agree or don't disagree or whatever, send me a tweet, guys. I'm always open to chatting about this more. But let's go ahead and continue on because we got so much more to talk about in this show. All right, so let's see where we go from here. Alrighty, Dante Martin versus Hangman Adam Page. I absolutely love this. So I was super I basically tweeted out, I put out this tweet that got some people that sent some responses where I was like, nah, bro, this is not it. This is not it. So I love that they made this matchup. All right, so Dante was ranked number 2. Okay, so there were some people arguing that they shouldn't have done Dante Martin versus Hangman Page, that because everybody knew Hangman Page was going to win and that Dante Martin didn't have a shot, right? So a lot of people were tweeting this to me and I thought, well, that's really dumb. And this is why it's really dumb. Dante Martin was ranked at number 2. This is why the rankings have been incorporated into AEW to serve a purpose in these storylines. One of the things that I appreciated from this is that not only is Dante Martin going to get a really good spot during this and get, he's wrestling the freaking champion, right? So he's going to get a lot of positive tension from that. It's going to be a good opportunity for him on TV, etc. But the point of this here is to have Hangman Page actually have TV matches. Like, Hangman Page is, in order to build a strong babyface champion, why not have him wrestle the guys that are in the rankings? So that's why I was very upset when people were saying that, no, this match shouldn't have happened and this and that. And I'm like, why? Why the hell not? Like, we know that Dante Martin's not going to win. So the hell what? This is going to be a good TV match for the champion, who is this likable baby face, and you're just gonna get to see him actually wrestle instead of waiting months for AEW to build up a challenger for Hangman Page, where we don't see him on TV because they don't have a challenger for him. So instead of us waiting for them to actually build somebody up for Hangman Page, he is wrestling on the show because he's wrestling the guys that are ranked. So for me, I liked that they did this. I really liked that they did this. So I was kind of a little bit irritated when people were saying that they shouldn't have done this match. At the end of the day, if you have a babyface champion, you want to have a fighting champion. Nothing makes your babyface champion more likable than being a fighting champion. That is likable. So let's go ahead and see. Also, Dante losing to Hangman Page isn't going to hurt him whatsoever. So let's just throw that out there for a second. So I did get a little hot when people were tweeting me that, because I was like, no, sit down. Let me explain this for a hot second here. Anyways, the match itself, though, I do want to put over. I love the pace. We obviously know that Dante Martin can have, pretty fun matches, especially given his style, and he's, shows his agility a lot during these matches. The finish, I loved the finish. Obviously, the buckshot lariat from Hangman Page, but I especially loved it because Dante Martin literally, he was like AJ Styles there, really selling that buckshot lariat. And so for me, I was a fan of this. Afterwards, Adam Page kind of paid his respects to Dante Martin, kind of gave him a pat on the back. A really nice, respectful interaction between both guys. So I really enjoyed it. Commentary also did a good job of really pointing out how good Dante has been, and that he was 18-2 in his last 20 matches. And I think on an 11-match winning streak, I believe, if I remember correctly. After this, we do go into Adam Cole essentially challenging Hangman Page to a 6-man tag team match. And he does announce later on in the show that his partners are going to be Red Dragon, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. And Adam Cole basically says he's not going to stop until he becomes champion. So how did you guys feel about this Dante Martin, Hangman Page situation? Let's see what people are saying here. Advi Devin says, you've read enough of my chats for free, so this is just a Denise appreciation super chat. All right, you're killing me here. This is now the Denise Appreciation Society right now, right here. Thank you so much to Advi for sending this in. I really appreciate you, man. I really, really do. And let's go ahead and see some more comments here and see what people are saying in regards to this. This one is from... Let's see. I'm going to try to get some comments on this one here. All right, this one is from Keel, who says they need to refer to the rankings more. I feel they do a pretty, nice job at that. Anthony says Dante made himself when he pulled out his backflip against Kenny. Tony says Dante earns cowboy shit's respect. Yeah, he really did. I really like that. And this one's from Marcus, who says, spot on. Watch the AEW shows regularly and understand the rankings does make sense instead of moaning. Yep, I agreed with that too. And this is a comment from Anthony, who says, I always felt like a babyface champion should help out faces on the undercard, even out odds, etc., to help boost their image. Kev B says, Adam Page is a great champion and he's doing what a great champion does, making new stars like Dante Martin. This was a great match. Don't know why people were upset. Thank you. I didn't even point that out, that he did, help raise Dante Martin's portfolio for sure. And let's go ahead and continue on from here. So this was a thumbs up. I liked all of this, and welcome everybody to the Denise Appreciation Society. All right, from here on out, let's go ahead and get into what we got with one of the biggest stories coming out of AEW Revolution was William Regal. William Regal making his AEW debut at Revolution. I was there in the crowd. People lost their goddamn minds. It was the biggest pop of the night. People went crazy over this. So obviously, we were excited to see what William Regal was going to say here tonight. But before William Regal spoke, we did get a match. It was the Workhorsemen, Anthony Henry and JD Drake versus Moxley and Bryan Danielson, with William Regal in their corner. And I have a joke, a really quick joke, but I feel like the Workhorseman name doesn't work when you're in the ring with Bryan Danielson. Change the name, bud. It's a dumb joke, but let's move on. This was fun. Bryan just basically kicking the shit out of both of these guys, hitting the yes kicks on JD Drake. There was a moment that I really enjoyed when Bryan had Anthony and the surfboard, and at the exact same time, Jon Moxley was biting his face. Can you imagine that? Being put into a submission by Bryan Danielson while Jon Moxley is biting your face. Let that sink in. Think about it for a second. Really. Think about it. Afterwards, we see Bryan stomp the hell out of JD Drake, transitions into the label lock, and gets the victory for his team. Then from here, we go into an interview with Tony Schiavone and William Regal. William Regal, who has by far the smoothest voice ever. ASMR with Regal, man, because he is so relaxing to just listen while he talks. But he basically points out the fact that the last time he was in the ring with Tony Schiavone was 29 years ago. WCW mentions his age, 53 years old, that he only has, so much more to do in wrestling. He says that the last 2 months, he kind of disconnected from wrestling, something that, it's not, with wrestling being his life, he wasn't necessarily expecting to be at home for 2 months and not being involved with wrestling somehow, like not following the product, etc. Right? So he said he was completely disconnected from wrestling. But then that a friend told him that Bryan Danielson had mentioned his name, and after that piqued his interest. He then goes on to put over Bryan Danielson, talks about them training together and working together, and calls him the perfect wrestler. He then puts over Jon Moxley. He then sends out a warning to the AEW roster. I mean, this was really, really good. It was just William Regal basically saying why he's there and what he's planning on doing with Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson, and why he has aligned himself with both of these guys. So I was a huge fan of all of this, and I really enjoyed just listening to William Regal say what he needed to say. Raven Warren says, step up. or you're gonna get stepped on. Thank you so much to Raven Warren for also sending this in. That was a really good line from Regal. I loved it. Good stuff, man. And then there's Major Blood points out that the first half of Regal's promo also almost brought a tear to his eye. I agree with this. I felt the same way because Regal, while he was talking about when he was talking about the stuff with Tony Schiavone and all of this, he basically started thanking him. And when he was saying that, like his eyes got like red and watery. So you kind of felt like you felt the moment. So yeah, I agree with Major Blood on this one too here. And this is from Draper Dawn, who says, the reception for Regal is the sort of thing that makes you realize why you love wrestling as much as we do. The love, respect, and admiration in such displays. Emotional, really. Daryl Rozzi also pointing out that Regal almost brought him to tears as well. And I like this guy. I really, really like this guy. Andrew Cook says, someone send Denise Regal reading his autobiography as a book on tape to help her sleep. I would appreciate this. Like, Regal could make some extra income. Just go on YouTube, put up videos of him talking or reading a book, doing the alphabet. He could do that, sing some songs, sing some lullabies, make some extra cash. I'll be there. I'll subscribe. All right, let's go ahead and move on from here. So after this, we got a quick match between Wheeler Yuta and Pac. I absolutely loved how this was made, where they basically said, the opening match didn't go, the full 60 minutes. So basically, hey, we have more time. Let's add this match. So they did. They added Wheeler Yuta and Pac. This was a very quick match. Pac literally just kicking Wheeler Yuta's butt. Hits him with a German suplex. Hits him with a brain buster off the top rope. Locks in the brutalizer. Gets the win via submission. Good win for Pac. I liked it. Thumbs up. We got a comment here from Pro Wrestling Fan who says, you can tell how much this meant to him being there with Mox, Brian, and Tony. This was great. And I'm happy for him getting this opportunity and the fans showing him the respect he deserves. I agree. I definitely agree. Now, let's get into a major portion of this show because we got a big debut, a debut that we knew was going to happen because this person flat out said, I'm going to AEW. It was just a matter of when and how is he going to come in. But we all knew it was going to happen. And given the way that this was set up, everyone knew that Jeff Hardy was coming out. This was perfectly set up where everybody was like, all right, here we go. At any moment now, we're going to hear Jeff Hardy's music and it's going to be him and he's going to be here. So they did a really good job at setting this up. So what this was a meeting by the AHFO. And if you recall, at Revolution, they lost to Darby, Sting, and Sammy. So they're not happy. Andrade wants to do a vote whether or not they should keep Matt Hardy. And at first, Private Party voted for him to stay in, and then they ended up changing their minds and putting their thumbs down and voted him out. So they all voted Matt Hardy out of the AHFO. That's a hard word to say. Afterwards, we see Darby and Sting coming out to help them out, but they are still outnumbered. And I liked that they had Darby and Sting coming out too, because before they came out, I thought that Jeff Hardy was going to come out during that moment, but then it ended up being Darby and Sting. And for a second, I thought, maybe he's not coming out. Like for a split second, I thought maybe it isn't happening here because they had Darby and Sting coming out. So they kind of fooled me for a split second. But once I saw that they too were getting their butt kicked and still were getting outnumbered. And then we finally had Jeff Hardy's music hit. And then he came out and I posted a tweet that has gone sort of viral. So yay. I think it's like at over 5,000 likes, like 300, like 500 retweets. I don't fucking know. But it really took off because I tweeted a picture of Jeff Hardy. Keep in mind, guys, his brother is getting his ass whooped by a bunch of dudes, one of which likes to kidnap people, but he's getting his ass kicked, and Jeff Hardy's music plays, and he still comes out and does his dance. He still does the Jeff Hardy dance and then goes out to help his brother. But he comes out, helps him out, hits the Swanton bomb. It's a really good moment. Afterwards, we get Jeff Hardy, and Matt Hardy hugging it out in an AEW ring. I feel like I'm going to say this a lot, but let that sink in, everybody. We just had on March 9th, 2022, Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy, one of the most iconic tag teams ever, and one of my favorite tag teams ever, hugging it out on AEW. This was great stuff. This was very, he looked happy. Looked very happy. They both looked happy. The hug was very endearing, as it should be, since they're brothers. So this was fun, guys. What else did I want to say about this really quickly? I think I already said what I needed to say. Yeah, so instantly, there are so many matches that I want to see happen with Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy as a team, as not a team, just Jeff Hardy alone, whatever options, I'm good with it. So this is going to be fun. I think this is going to be a way for Jeff Hardy to like re-find his love in wrestling, to kind of be remembered for something else than like jobbing on random matches on Monday Night Raw. Yeah. All right, let's see what we got here, guys. Let's see. This is from Mojo says Jeff Hardy loves the dancing. And we'll talk about Keith Lee in just a bit, because Mulambo says, Denise, what are your thoughts about how poorly Keith Lee is being used? Guys, there's a shit ton of people on that roster. That's all I got to say. There's a ton of people on the roster. I wouldn't say he's being used poorly. There's just not enough time. I said this was going to happen too, but I wouldn't say he's being booked poorly. I just think that there's just so many other people with so many other stories, so many stories to tell. We'll talk more about him in just a second, though. And let's see what we got here. This is from Major Blood, who says, it was hilarious to watch Jeff dancing to his theme song while Matt Hardy got his ass kicked in the ring. I told you. It's funny as hell. And let's see what else we got here. This is from Nolan Harris, who says the first few segments of the show felt weird. It got better as the show went on. The Cooch mentions that you can't fire Tully. Yeah, Tully was fired today. That's another thing to talk about. And Bridget just sent in a massive super chat. Bridget has been sending so much love on this channel. I don't deserve all the love Bridget has been sending, but thank you so much to Bridget Hewlett for sending in this massive super chat and saying, my night was made. I love the Hardys. Well, my night was made with your super chat. Thank you so much, Bridget. I really appreciate you. I'm going to send you another DM thanking you with so much love. Thank you so much to Bridget. I never know what to say. Thank you. And let's go ahead and see what else we got here and see what people are saying in terms of what people felt about this. Let's see. This is from Pro Wrestling Fan, who says Jeff just dancing while his brother getting beat up. Want them versus Sting and Darby. Want Jeff and Sting to have a redo, because this incident between them and Darby versus Jeff is going to be, or this interaction rather, between Darby and Jeff is going to be amazing. Yeah, I think so too. That is literally like when you had, because there was a moment where you had the Hardy Boys across the ring from Sting and Darby, and they made sure to put like these close-ups on Darby where Darby was like, that was the face he was making. And so like instantly, I think it popped into a lot of people's minds where it's like, oh shit, like this is something that, we would be interested in seeing for sure. And let's go ahead and continue on from here, everybody. Devin says Bridget is the MVP, chairman of the Denise Appreciation Society. Yes. And let's go ahead and continue on from here. So after this, we had the Wardlow promo, and so Wardlow got a massive reaction at AEW Revolution as well when he turned on MJF by helping out CM Punk during the match. So a lot of people at least I feel a lot of people wanted to hear what he was going to say, given the fact that he is still under contract with MJF, right? Okay, so he comes out and he basically says that, he thought he thought aligning himself with MJF was going to be a good thing. He thought that he was going to get an opportunity, but that he just went from one cage into another cage. He even told the crowd, quote, "Forgive me for associating with such trash." And I got to tell you, that one sentence absolutely popped me. Just him saying, "Forgive me for associating with trash." Thought it was hilarious as hell. But anyways, he talks about growing up poor, watching his mom work hard to feed him and his sisters, and clarifies that he is still under contract with MJF, but that he just simply does not care anymore, that he will no longer be part of the Pinnacle, that he's no longer going to be MJF's bodyguard, he's no longer going to help MJF whatsoever. So he basically says, after years of giving, it is finally my turn to take, and he wants it all. And then he tells everybody that it's Wardlow's world. And I'm thinking, what's Jeff Jarrett gonna say about this? How does Jeff Jarrett feel that it is now Wardlow's world? I was waiting to make that joke. I was trying to make that joke on Twitter, but I didn't have enough time to find like an angry picture of Jeff Jarrett on the internet. I was waiting. I just didn't have time, but that was my plan. So I was like, screw it. I'll save my joke for the post show. All right. Anyway, so my prediction. Okay, so we are going to be seeing for St. Patrick's Day Slam, we are going to be seeing Wardlow versus Scorpio Sky, who did become TNT champion. We'll talk more about that later, but we are going to be seeing Wardlow versus Scorpio Sky. So at first I thought, oh, well, maybe Scorpio Sky is just going to be a he's just going to be a transitional champion, right? I thought that for a split second, but no, I'm expecting Scorpio Sky to be a champion for a while. I'm expecting MJF to cost Wardlow the match, because that just makes sense. It makes more sense to have MJF cost Wardlow the match, given that Wardlow is still under contract with MJF. So given that he mentioned all of that, Wardlow basically said, like, Wardlow said, I'm not going to need MJF if I win the TNT championship. So obviously the best way for MJF to play dirty and basically screw Wardlow for screwing him is by screwing him in his match for the TNT championship. So I am not expecting to see Wardlow become TNT champion next week. I'm not expecting it to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I think MJF is going to screw him. So that is where I'm at right now. And that's my big, bold prediction. And let's see what people are saying. Yeah, everybody's agreeing that MJF is going to screw him. Yeah, I think so too. That's Mr. Slapnuts. Let's see what else we got here. This one is from Pacer Dawn, who says, one of the cool things about AEW is that their booking makes sense. Yes, it can be predictable sometimes, but it matters more that it'll make sense. We do here. We like logic. We like logic. We're a sucker for logic. Sean Williams says Wardlow is going to get beat. That's weird, but hopefully that is what happens. Scorpio, the title run should be for a while. And we'll talk more about Scorpio in just a second. Anthony Analog says, Spears, worst accountability buddy. This low-key his fault. Worst accountability buddy ever, Sean Spears. All right, let's go ahead and continue on from here, everybody. After this, we got the Acclaimed versus Jurassic Express. This match was essentially announced. This match was essentially announced a couple minutes before Dynamite by Tony Khan on Twitter. And my favorite part, Max Caster's rap, when he said, quote, Jungle Boy has never seen a pair of boobs, all that hair on your head, and you can't grow pubes. It killed me. It really, really killed me. Congratulations, Max Caster. You did it again. Apparently, a bunch of people were sharing a screenshot that Anna Jay tweeted false. People were sharing the screenshot on my comment section that she tweeted false, but I think she deleted the tweet because I went on her page and the tweet wasn't there. So I don't know if it was like a fake tweet that maybe somebody just fooled me with on Photoshop, or if like she really tweeted that and then deleted it. I don't know. But apparently she tweeted that. I don't know. But anyways, this was a fun little match. This was a nice little tease between two good teams that can go. We saw the Acclaim hit their mic drop. We saw Jurassic Express get the win after Jungle Boy hits the clothesline on, I think it was on Bowens. Yeah, on Bowens, while he was on the shoulders of Luchasaurus for the win. So it was a nice little match. Nothing else much to say about that. Okay, so people here are telling me that she did say it, that she did tweet false. She did tweet false, and then I guess she probably deleted it. I don't know why she deleted it. I would have left it there because it's pretty funny and it's going to get a bunch of hits. Good timing, but I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and move on from this. So Jade Cargill's promo, she's basically asking who's next, who's left. And so for some reason, I missed when she did the Kiss of Death on Ty Conti at Revolution. I was there live, but I missed it. I don't know. And I was thinking about this and I was like, damn, that's really gonna get over. Really gonna get over for sure. So I just kind of felt I needed to mention that right now. Alrighty, after this, guys, before we move on, we still got a couple more things to discuss on the show. Just a friendly reminder to everybody, as always, I go live here 3 times a week on F4W Online, and this show has been steadily growing. I have regulars now. Thank you so much to the regulars. I'm here on Tuesdays to talk about NXT 2.0. Yesterday, we had Dolph Ziggler become NXT champion. That was a little bit controversial, but we talked about it. Wednesdays, I am here to talk AEW Dynamite, and then Fridays, I am here to talk about Smackdown or Rampage. Fridays are a little bit hit or miss. Sometimes we got a lot, sometimes we got not much, but it depends on what happens that day. But either way, I am here 3 times a week. Also, I have a brand new series on F4W Online called The Latest, where I basically do 4 videos a week, and I basically cover the news of the day, the latest, and share it with all of you guys. So if you don't want to read and you just want to have somebody explain things to you, cool, I'm there. So make sure to check those out and give those some love because, yeah. Alrighty. Malambo says, how did you miss the kiss? I don't know. Guys, I explained this in my post show for Revolution. You could still watch that. It's here on the channel. But I was explaining to you guys that we didn't have a big screen. It was just a little screen and then the ring and I missed it. It happens, guys. Live events. Sometimes you look around. I looked around and missed it. Or I probably tweeted something or was trying to get Wi-Fi. I was drinking a soda. Who knows what happened, but I missed it. All right, let's go ahead and continue on from here. So we got the AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator match. God, it's such a long title. I already forgot the whole title. But anyways, we had La Meta, my boss, Thunder Rosa, take on Leyla Hirsch. Leyla Hirsch, who is the number 1 ranked woman right now, and Thunder Rosa, who is a number 2 ranked woman. So I think, thank you, the Women's Championship Eliminator. Sorry, I just remembered. I wanted to say that properly. Anyway, so this was kind of, I think we kind of already knew where this was going. I think that now people have been able to piece the puzzles together after Thunder Rosa lost at Revolution. She, from the looks of it, is the second that they announced that they were going to be doing this match between her and Leyla Hirsch, with the winner going on to face Britt Baker in a steel cage over at St. Patrick's Day Slam, that in San Antonio, I think we all knew that it was going to be Thunder Rosa. So this was, this was a little bit predictable, but it's still something that I think a lot of people are going to be excited about. I know I'm excited about it. So we're going to be anyways, let me focus in on this match first before I get ahead of myself. So Thunder Rosa, Leyla Hirsch. We saw Thunder hit a nice drop kick on Leyla. Leyla goes after her left elbow, goes after the left arm. We see Thunder hit a Northern Light suplex. We see Leyla goes under the ring and she grabs the turnbuckle and she's going to use it on Thunder Rosa. But Red Velvet comes along and she ends up basically stopping her from cheating in this match. So she stops her. So good for Red Velvet. And Thunder Rosa hits a Thunder Driver, gets the win, and now she is going to be moving on to St. Patrick's Day Slam to face Britt Baker inside a steel cage for the AEW Women's World Championship in San Antonio. So if Thunder Rosa does not win, I would be shocked, okay? Shocked if Thunder Rosa does not win next week at Dynamite. I would be shocked. I don't even know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. The story is writing itself. It has to be Thunder Rosa next week. And if it's not, I don't know what I'm going to do. Really, I don't. I think that I've already gotten my hopes up and thinking that it is definitely happening next week. They mentioned that it is going to be, the 1 year after the Lights Out match between her and Britt Baker. So, I mean, the story is there. It's got to happen. Don't let us down. Anyway, so that's exciting stuff. Chances are we're going to be moving on to Leyla Hirsch and Red Velvet, which I'm here for. Keep adding more depth to the women's division, adding more stories for the women. And you got something there with Red Velvet and Leyla Hirsch, especially since Red Velvet was already intertwined with this host Chris Statlander, Leyla Hirsch stuff. So it all works itself out. But other matches that were announced for AEW Dynamite St. Patrick's Day Slam, besides the steel cage match for the AEW Women's World Championship, we also are going to be getting Scorpio Sky versus Wardlow. And we've already talked about that. But let's see what people are saying about this here. And this one is from Dale, who says, is it me or Red Velvet is the official babyface savior? I love Red Velvet. I've become a fan of hers for a while now. Really, I have. And let's go ahead and this is from Boy Toy, who says, Boy Toy Thirst Trap. Nice. Who says, Denise, have you ever noticed that Jamie Hayter never does the whole DMD finger thing? Am I looking too much into this? Oh, the thing? I didn't notice. Clearly, I don't pay attention to detail. I didn't notice that. Thank you so much for pointing that out. I appreciate it. Let's see what else we got here, what people are saying. This one is from Pacer Don, who says, I keep getting sucked into kayfabe with AEW. I legit thought Rosa injured her shoulder and was crying because she knew she wouldn't be there. AEW does that so well. And let's see what else we got here. This one is from Andrew, who says they made Thunder beat Leyla to get her rematch. In a way, it's disrespect to Leyla when we were all expecting her to lose. I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. The story, it's writing itself. It's fine. Layla's not going to lose anything by losing a match to Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa's just on a different level than Leyla Hirsch. And that's not a shot against Leyla because we like Leyla. We're fans of Leyla here. She's been hustling, man, and she's been doing a good job every time she's out there. But obviously Thunder Rosa's on a different level, and they're, telling the story with Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, hopefully leading up to Thunder Rosa's big moment at San Antonio. We'll see. Amir, thank you so much for sending in a super chat. Amir Al-Karani says, Denise, any chance we get your best Jeff Hardy dance to celebrate the debut? Amir, getting your money's worth, man. Oh, man. Okay, this is terrible. Keep in mind I'm sitting down on a chair and I can't get up or my whole setup will get fucked up. So dun 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 dun. Okay, that's it. I'm sweating. I'm sweating now, guys. Thank you so much to Amir. Like I said, you get your super chat in here and I will be a show monkey. Yep, I will be a show monkey. I do it for the money. Yeah. Amir, thank you so much for the super chat. And sorry to everybody that I terrified and sang a terrible version of the Jeff Hardy song. Sorry to the audio listeners, but you know what? You spend your money on this stream, you get your money's worth. I can't breathe. All right, sorry guys. I'm sweating now. I can't breathe. I don't feel very poised. I don't feel very charming. Moving on. All right, from here, we got another super chat. I'm like, please don't be like, Denise, do a 6:30 onto your desk now. David Kaplan says, who's your favorite AEW wrestler? You're still friends with Tiffany Taylor? Oh, Tiffany. Tiffany's my bestie. I'm hanging out with her tomorrow, actually. I'll share a picture of us on Twitter. I'm so happy you know Tiffany. I love Tiffany. My favorite AEW wrestler. I have a bunch, but I'm going to go with the very obvious Bryan Danielson. But I like a bunch of people, so it's too hard to say. I love a bunch of people. All right, let's go. Andrew Cook says, damn, Denise needs some cardio. For reals, bro. But I also got 3 ring lights here. It gets very hot, very sweaty here. So I move too much. I'm blown up. Oh my God, I'm Shane McMahon. I'm Shane McMahon in the Royal Rumble. Oh no. Oh, frick. Oh man. All right. I shouldn't have said that. Oh God. Oh, people are going to come at me for that now. Oh, I'm going to have to take the heat. Crim 7, 6:30 onto your podcasting table. That's all I can give you, man. That's all I can give you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, man. All right, let's continue on, guys. All right, from here, matches that are announced for AEW Rampage this Friday. Jamie Hayter, who a lot of people really love, versus Mercedes Martinez. That should be an ass-kicking match. Darby Allin versus Mark Quinn. That should be fun. QT Marshall versus Keith Lee. QT Marshall is going to be killed by Keith Lee. And Swerve Strickland versus Tony Nese. And remind me that I have some more stuff to say about Swerve Strickland in just a second, but I need to first talk about this TNT Championship match here. All right, so we got the TNT Championship match. We got Sammy Guevara versus Scorpio Sky, with the winner going on to face Wardlow. I already told you guys Scorpio Sky won this match, but what we need to talk about the fact is that Sammy Guevara clearly has a death wish. Sammy Guevara is batshit crazy, all right? And this is a compliment. He's freaking nuts. He's nuts. He literally did a 630 onto a table with nobody on it because Scorpio Sky was on it, but then he moved out of the way. So Sammy literally went to the top rope, did a beautiful 630 straight onto the table. If you did not watch this, please, I beg you, go watch that. It was terrifying. It was crazy. It was just crazy. I can't get over it. I literally thought that was going to be the end of the match. I thought they were going to basically do the whole, he can't get up and walk anymore. And I don't know. I was expecting something along those lines. It was just such a crazy stunt. And think about this. It was already a crazy stunt. Think about what he just did not a few days ago on Sunday at Revolution when he went to the top of the stage and freaking did the Spanish fly onto a freaking table. Think about that. He did that on Sunday. Then he comes here on Wednesday, does the freaking 630 onto the table with nobody there. And then, after this, we still see more stuff from him. We get a really nice springboard cutter from Sammy. We see a shooting star press afterwards from Sammy. We end up seeing Paige VanZant get in the face of Ty Conti because Ty Conti's all worried. And then afterwards, we do see Paige VanZant attack Ty Conti. We'll talk more about them in just a second. But this basically allows Scorpio Sky, he ends up getting the win. In this match. And basically, I feel like the story there was, Sammy Guevara just took such a beating. He took such a beating that it made it easier for Scorpio Sky to essentially win this match. Okay. So I said what I said earlier. I hate this for Sammy because I think this is just going to revert him back to the inner circle stuff. And it's going to kind of put him back in the shadows once again of Chris Jericho and everything that they do there. So I'm not too crazy about it because I feel like he's just going to revert back to what they were already doing with him before. And also he was having such a hot run as TNT champion and literally killing it with so many of his opponents that I honestly feel kind of, I'm sad. I want to keep seeing Sammy as champion. I really, really do. But this guy is just killing himself left and right, guys, man. But I do like Sammy, appreciate his work. You see his passion. There's nothing but admiration there for what he does and what he puts his body on the line through. He's done some crazy stuff. Crazy, crazy stuff. But one of the things that I would want to talk about here, so with Scorpio Sky now winning the TNT Championship, his accolades in AEW have definitely risen. He's now this is his first time as TNT Champion, but he was also a former and the inaugural AEW World Tag Team Champions with Frankie Kazarian. He also won the AEW World Tag Team Championship tournament, obviously prior to the championship. And then he's a Face of the Revolution ladder match winner back in 2021. So he's definitely been getting his hands on some gold. So good for Scorpio Sky. He really, really, really needed this because first of all, I love Scorpio Sky. He's also freaking awesome too, but he really needed this. He was in the shadows of Dan Lambert and everything that they were doing with that whole story. He was just in the shadows, and now there he is. It does kind of feel a little out of nowhere that he's TNT champion now. I mean, they recently just started telling this story, but good for him. I'm excited to see what he does as champion. He does have some big shoes to fill now, given what Sammy Guevara just did prior. So I do think that this is going to be good stuff here. We got a super chat from Justin Martin, a good friend here of the show. Justin Martin says, Scorpio Sky is the new TNT champion, and Paige VanZant signs her AEW contract right after Ty Conti's butt. Right? Oh, I missed that. When she signed her contract over Ty Conti's butt? What? How did I miss that? Why am I missing things? What an eventful ending to Dynamite. I didn't see that part when she signed her contract over Ty Conti's butt. I did not see that. Jesus Christ. Thank you so much to Justin Martin for sending that in. Christopher Marino sends in a super chat saying, I don't think Sammy will be anywhere near the Jericho thing. Him throwing his jacket down ended that he will be continuing the feud with Sky and Paige. So I do want to talk about Paige VanZant and Ty Conti here because I really like the direction that they are going with both of these girls. I like the fact that Paige VanZant's first official opponent is Ty Conti, because prior to this, it was going to be Paige VanZant and Brandy Rhodes, and that was one thing. Now they're going in an entirely different direction with Ty Conti, and I think this was the best thing to do. Given their backgrounds, this is smart. So Paige VanZant, obviously, MMA fighter, accomplished amateur wrestler, etc. Ty Conti, an Olympic level judokan. So given their strong backgrounds, all they literally have to do in their match is just grapple. That's all they got to do is just grapple, and it'll be top level. It'll be top level stuff, and it'll be impressive. They don't even got to do any strikes or anything. Literally just grapple, and they're both going to get over working with each other during this. So I think it's a smart call to have Ty Conti and Paige VanZant in a program together. So I'm a real big fan of that. Also, the other thing that I wanted to add about Swerve is that I do think that after Swerve has his match with Tony Khan. Oh my God, sorry. Tony Nese, not Tony Khan, Tony Nese. Swerve has his match with Tony Nese. Afterwards, I think that he should be the first person to go up and face Scorpio Sky. And I'm going to say this, I think Swerve needs to win the title from Scorpio Sky. I really do think so, because I think they need to establish that Swerve, if they want to establish Swerve as a top guy on the roster, or at least one of a soon-to-be top guy on the roster, I do think that he should defeat Scorpio Sky, get the TNT championship so that they can establish him as more than just a guy on AEW Rampage. So we'll see what happens. I think he'll benefit a lot from it. But again, we'll see what happens there. So that's just a bunch of different stuff here. Twitch Face Force. Denise Salcedo reports Tony Khan stepping into the ring to wrestle Swerve Strickland. We got Sin. I don't know what the S1. I can't say this username. Damn it, Denise. No one fights the Khan. Hey, man. I think a lot of people would tune in for that. A lot of people would tune in to see Tony Khan wrestle. Anyways, we got a super chat. This is the final super chat of the day that I'm going to read. So thank you so much to David Kaplan, who says, you have to have SRS on your show and mute him. Well, it's kind of hard since, obviously he has his own show. But thank you so much to David Kaplan for sending that in. I really appreciate you, man. Alrighty, guys, that is it. That was the show. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, please help me spread the word about this show. Share it on your social media platforms. Tell your friends. If you have wrestling friends, I don't really have wrestling friends. My wrestling friends are coworkers, so yeah. But if you have real life wrestling friends, tell them. Check out Denise's show. It's pretty fun. If you had fun. Anyways, I forgot what I was going to say. F4W Online. Make sure you subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at _Denise Salcedo and youtube.com/Denise Salcedo. Until next time, I'll see you guys on Friday for SmackDown and Rampage. Bye.